So you've been procrastinating every day until now. Your exam is tomorrow and you are out of luck. You can't just read your textbook and do practice questions and use active recall because you simply don't have time. You need something different. But don't worry, I have good news for you. It is very possible for you to get a good score even with one day of revision. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to study for your exam that is tomorrow. And I'm gonna split it into two phases. The first one is the planning phase and the second one is the execution phase. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly what you need to do if you want to get a good score with one day of revision. And you will also know where most people get it wrong. But before I begin, I want you to forget everything you already know about cramming. Forget pushing yourself until 2 a.m. to do practice questions. Forget about going through all the headaches because the exam does not care about that. The exam only cares about your progress. So once you have that old mindset out of the way, let's get straight into the first part of the video, which is the planning phase. Most people skip the planning phase, but it is where the majority of learning happens. So imagine you're playing a video game. When you have an unexplored map in the game, you're gonna have this fog around all the areas showing that it is unexplored. Now the planning phase is essentially when you explore the entire map and you try to get rid of as much fog as possible. So you want to get to know your entire chapter. You want to know what the chapter is about, how many topics there are, what each topic is about, and what skills are needed for each topic. Notice how I'm breaking this big thing down into small little chunks. So you should aim to have this overview of the entire chapter. You should know about all the subdivisions that are inside and know roughly what each of them are about. You may be asking, how do I do this? And I have one simple answer for you. YouTube videos. YouTube videos are engaging and it's an amazing way to learn quickly. If you have a chapter that you know nothing about, an amazing way to get started is to simply just watch YouTube videos. You don't have to bring out your textbook. It's very easy to get started. And when you watch YouTube videos, you will get a general feeling of what the chapter is about and what is inside that chapter. Once this fog has been cleared and you know the details inside the chapter, now is the time to reflect. So try to think to yourself, which topic is easy? Which topic do I already know? Which topic needs special attention? Or which topic looks very challenging? So notice how you haven't even touched your textbook or a practice question, but now you have a clear mental map of what the chapter is about. You know which topic is hard, which topic is easy, and you now have a rough idea of what steps you need to be taking. So many people skip the planning phase and they jump straight into doing random questions when they don't even know what the entire topic is about. So by the end of planning phase, you should have a very clear idea of what each topic is about, how they link with each other, and which specific topic you think needs extra attention. This only takes 20 to 30 minutes to do, but it helps you massively. So once you've done the planning phase, let's get straight into the execution phase. So for the execution phase, the first thing that you want to do is see which questions are relevant. So if your exam has some sort of past paper, then you want to open up 2 or 3 past papers side by side and see which questions come out the most. So you want to have a general idea of the type of questions that you'll be seeing the most, so you don't have to waste time studying all the other things that probably won't come out in your exam. This literally takes less than 10 minutes to do, but I see a lot of people skipping it and then they complain afterwards that, oh, what they studied for didn't come out on the exam. So make sure you don't skip this step so you can make sure you study on only relevant questions. Now that you have a rough idea of what type of questions you'll see, it is now time for you to learn very, very fast. So you want to pick a topic that you think is relevant and open the specific topic questions for that topic. Once you have this set of questions, don't just answer it straight away because you probably have no idea what is going on yet. The fastest way to learn how to solve these problems is by mimicking how others do it. So instead of just solving it by yourself, you want to open up YouTube, you want to open up the mark scheme. You want to see how others approach the question or what the model answer should be like. So you don't have to waste time trying to figure it out yourself when you definitely have no idea how to do it. So personally, what I like to do is have 4 or 5 questions that I don't know how to do, and I will watch how others have approached it and look at the model answers. And once I've gone through the answers of each of the questions, I will close YouTube, close the answer key, and try to do it myself. So by doing specific topic questions, starting from the most relevant topic and mimicking how others approach the question, you will be able to learn unbelievably fast, especially because you've done the planning phase before, so you know the purpose of what you're doing and how it contributes to the bigger picture, and you have this solid understanding of the whole thing. So let me sum up the execution phase. The first thing you want to do is see which questions or topics are relevant, and you do this by looking at many past papers and comparing which types of question you see the most. Once you know which topics are relevant, then you go look at questions topic by topic and you mimic others. You see how they approach the question, you see the model answer, try to understand what is going on, what is being asked, and then you try to do it yourself. Obviously, this isn't the best way to learn because you're cramming everything and cramming is not good. But if your exam is tomorrow, then this is the quickest way that I know on how you can absorb information very quickly. If you think that there's a better way, then feel free to share it in the comment section. If your exam is tomorrow, then ideally, when you're doing practice questions, you don't want to spend too much time writing down your answer. So if you have those type of questions where you have to explain stuff or write a mini essay and you're using paper or an iPad, then don't be afraid of messy handwriting. I see a lot of people using perfect handwriting even when they're doing practice questions, and this wastes a lot of time. So if your exam is tomorrow, then messy handwriting is the way to go. The other thing is some curriculum have keywords. So if you look at the answer key or the mark scheme, you will see that they are looking for specific words in your paragraph. So they don't really care what other things you write. As long as you have that word, then you're good to go. So when you're doing practice questions, if you want to go very, very fast, then write down only the keywords. So for example, if I have a 4-point question, what I would do is simply write down the 4 specific keywords that they are looking for. So I don't have to waste time writing grammatically perfect sentences when I'm doing practice questions. If you're doing maths or physics questions, then you're likely going to come across those multiple part questions. So for example, you have part A, B, and C. So you have to start with part A, and the answer of part A leads to part B, and the answer of part B leads to C. Now, if you are confident that you know how to do part A and B, then I would highly advise you to look at the answer key straight away to get the answers of A and B, so you can go to part C straight away. This is assuming that part C is the challenging part that you want to do. So it's okay to skip through a section of a multiple part question. It is also okay to skip through an entire maths question if you're confident that you can do it. If you're not so confident, then before you even start writing, try to mentally walk yourself through the steps that you need to be taking first. And if you can walk through the steps all the way until the end, all the way until you get your answer, then I would advise you to skip that question too. So this way you'll be able to skip through a lot of calculation questions, so you can only give your energy and focus to the challenging ones. The last bonus tip I want to share is to not neglect sleep. Sleep is when our hippocampus transfers our short-term memory into long-term memory. So even if you had the perfect study session, if you don't get enough sleep, then there's a very high chance that you will forget what you have learned. So definitely don't neglect sleep, especially the night before the exam. So that was how I would study for an exam on the next day. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing to my channel because we're trying to reach 400 subscribers as fast as we can. And by the way, yes, I did get a haircut mid-video if that's what you're wondering.